Before we get into this video, if you guys want to check out my feature film PCD, you can. It's on Amazon right now. You can check out the Blu-ray. Check it out. Support indie film. You guys might like it. It would help me out a lot too. It would mean the world to me. Also, check out my link tree. You can check out my short films. Follow me on my social media. Always looking to collaborate with other content creators and filmmakers. When Mickey 17 was first announced, I think there was a lot of people that were nervous about it, just specifically because it was coming off the back of Parasite, which Parasite was a cultural phenomenon. I mean, the film won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Foreign Language Film, Best Screenplay. It won a lot, and it really did change, I think, how the world views foreign cinema. I hope that doesn't sound extreme, but I do think that it is the case, because a lot of people I know watched Parasite. Now, there has been a huge gap between Mickey 17 and Parasite, and I think that is kind of a good thing because Parasite came out in 2019. This is coming out in 2025, so it's been like a while since. I mean, it's been almost, what, 6 years, something like that. So I think that's kind of good because it gives people space, and they're not just going into a film like, okay, can this live up to Parasite? Can this, follow the trail that Bong Joon-ho has left behind when it comes to these great films? Given, I don't think a lot of people really, when it comes to Mickey 17, a lot of people know who Bong Joon-ho is after Parasite, but where there's been that big time gap, I think people are genuinely watching Mickey 17 because they're either interested in it or it's because it's from the director of Parasite. And that's what kind of got me nervous, because you have the people that were looking for the next Parasite or, comparing it to that. And then you have people that are just based off Mickey 17 that are actually going to see it. And I don't know how this film is going to do at the box office. I have no idea. I know it was made for $120 million. A disposable employee is sent on a human expedition to colonize the ice world Niflheim. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. So essentially, Robert Pattinson is playing Mickey 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And this is no spoiler. This is in the trailer. But when it gets to Mickey 17, something happens where there's a Mickey 18, and the two kind of collide. And then Robert Pattinson's love interest, played by Naomi Ackie, Nasha, she is kind of helping both of them out. There's a little bit more to it, but I won't spoil anything. Also, the film has Steven Yeun, who is Mickey Barnes, one of his really good friends. Then you also have Toni Collette. You have Mark Ruffalo. And Mark Ruffalo, there is no other way around it. Mark Ruffalo's character is definitely there to portray a very certain specific political figure that is currently big in our world right now. You will see whenever you watch it. There's no way that there's no correlation there. And everybody does really good. I think Mark Ruffalo is a good enough dick to where, you kind of don't like him. Toni Collette, I mean, she kind of has this nice little upbeat sparkle, but she's also kind of a bad guy too. So, and she plays that off really well. And Steven Yeun is just great and everything, and Naomi Ackie's amazing too. But the real star of the show here is Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson playing Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. The thing about this is people are going to be very thrown off by Mickey 17 and 18. I do think that when it comes to the voice, when it comes to the accent, there are some people that just cannot let go of Twilight. So I do think when it comes to Mickey, there's going to be hesitation. I mean, I could even see people tuning out within the first 10 minutes of this film. The film itself is oddly paced. Like, it felt a lot longer than it actually was. Like, it's 2 hours and 17 minutes long, but it did feel a little bit longer than it actually was. Like, the first 30 minutes or so is kind of like a montage, just sort of explaining how we get to a certain point, and then we actually get into the thick of the film, which is something that I really enjoyed because it kept my interest there. I will say, towards the third act of the film, the last part of it, I was struggling a little bit. Not that I wasn't paying attention, but I was like, oh, okay, this could be sped up just a little bit. Not saying that I would trim down the runtime or anything, but I kind of wish that they would have added more action to it. Like, I was completely fine with the runtime, but I wish that there would have been just a little bit more. Which, I mean, some people might have issues with that, some people might not. But when it comes to Parasite, I mean, Parasite had that whole mystery behind it, which Mickey 17, which, not to compare the two, but I'm just saying, if you are going to compare the two, if you're watching this because it's coming from a director that made one of your favorite films, then yes, pacing wise, there is not that mystery that some of his other films have, like A Memories of Murder or A Parasite or what have you. This film is definitely more so in the realm of, say, Snowpiercer. It's more like a Snowpiercer, or honestly, in a weird way, it kind of reminded me just a tad bit of Okja and Barking Dogs Don't Bite, which is very strange to say because that was his first film that he ever did, was Barking Dogs Don't Bite. But Mickey 17, it's an enjoyable sci-fi film. It had me chuckling a little bit. The performances are great. The production design is fantastic. I love the set, and a lot of it's just set in this ship on this planet. So they did a really good job there. I will say the CGI, some of the explosions, I was thrown off. Some of the creature designs, I was thrown off. I don't know if there was any issue with that whenever it came to filming or not, and I don't know how much time Bong Joon-ho spent on this film. Like, I wonder if his next film will come out, like, soon, like really, really soon, because of the gap. Like, I wonder if he's already filmed his last film, because I know sometimes that does happen. I think with Yorgos Lanthimos with Poor Things, they had to do all the visual effects, so they ended up just going ahead and filming another movie, which ended up being Kinds of Kindness. Now they're doing Begonia, but I would love to see more from Bong Joon-ho because he's one of my favorite working directors. Parasite's one of my favorite films of all time. Snowpiercer is definitely up there too, as one of my favorite films of all time. I do love Snowpiercer as well. Memories of Murder, I would say Mickey 17 probably fits fifth place. I would say it's probably 5 out of 8 for me in terms of his filmography, because he's only made 8 films. It's probably number 5. That's where I would put it at. So, and I feel comfortable putting it there as well, because I think that is a pretty, I mean, when you look at other films like Okja, like Memories of Murders, because this film does sort of carry around those same themes, especially when it comes to like class and power struggle and stuff, and then also like animal cruelty and stuff. That stuff is definitely in here. It is a lot, and I've realized now more so than ever, Bong Joon-ho is very much so a political director, and if he's not, he still feels like it, which there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I think that's kind of a great thing to sort of have your niche, you know, and be able to bring it to the mainstream. I think that's a great thing, which I wouldn't even necessarily say those themes are even niche. But yeah, definitely check out Mickey 17, especially if you're a fan of Bong Joon-ho. You might really enjoy it a lot. I will say, if you're going to compare it to Parasite, I don't do it. Just don't do it. I think that it stands fine on its own, but if you're looking for the next Parasite, or if you think that this film is going to be better than Parasite, you might think that it is, but just keep expectations in check. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. Let me know what you thought of Mickey 17 down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.